Nick Wright, First Things First co-host on Fox Sports 1. Good to have you back on the program. Seton, would you give Nick the poll question?
We had who is in better shape from the teams that just got knocked out? The Suns, Knicks, Warriors, or Sixers?
Going forward next season, who's in better shape?
Oh, wow. What a great question. That must not have been a Dan Patrick original. Happy birthday, by the way. The Knicks is the answer. They have flexibility. They have, I think, a really solid 2 through 8. They just need the number 1, which I know is really hard to get, but they've kept their powder dry. They have the assets. They might be able to go get it. You got to move off Randall. Jalen is better than the biggest Brunson supporters could hope for. RJ finally showed some flashes. And all of a sudden, by the way, redraft, Dan, Zion, Ja, RJ. Oh, boy. Or maybe they got the best player at number 1. Who'd have seen that coming? I've loved Quentin Grimes since he and my son played together in Summer Bowl in Houston. He was a clear pro when he was 14 years old. I like IQ. They got to re-sign Hart. They got to find the one, but ones could come available. Like, I don't know. Do you think Kevin Durant's career's ending in Phoenix? I don't. Joel Embiid could get antsy in Philly. Giannis, who knows? Like, so I think it's the Knicks. I think the team in the worst shape is, gosh, that's hard. I think they're all in rough shape, Dan. I think the Warriors have nowhere to go. I think the Sixers, they're going to lose Harden for nothing, probably. That's not a dire loss. But listen, you know how much I love Embiid. Guy's got to have one great playoff run in him. He hasn't had it yet. And then the Suns, talk about new owner syndrome. I mean, that guy is just out of his mind. And they have no, Booker. They're probably in the second best spot because they have Booker. But Durant's 35, or he's not 35. I apologize. Steph's 35. Durant's, I think, 34. But Durant's played 11 minutes post round 2 in the last 5 years. It's not great. And so there's just, I think it's the Knicks, believe it or not. I actually think it's the Knicks.
Yeah, but to try to get that one is going to cost you a lot of the players you were telling me about to try to get that one to go to the Knicks. And today's player doesn't really care about Madison Square Garden the way, we used to think about Madison Square Garden. Durant and Kyrie didn't even think about going there. I don't know if it has that magic there that they say that, what would it cost for Giannis to go there or Joel Embiid to go there?
No, I think that, listen, I think the point you make is right. Like what they would try to do is RJ, Julius, who at this point, to me, Julius is a toxic asset. Like he's one of the worst playoff performers. That's not hyperbole, of the last 30 years. When you look at what his field goal percentage is and, the drop off, it'd be that and all the picks in the world that they have. And they do have a lot of picks. So you're right. You would have to kind of carve away some of the team, or you could try to do it in free agency, not this year, but next year. This year's free agent class is a bunch of, B-level guys plus James Harden, whatever you think he is. So that's a fair point. But I just think the Warriors are stuck. They have a great player who, by the way, are we still kicking LeBron off Mount Rushmore for Steph Curry? I don't know. What's the update on that? Anybody? I don't know. I saw LeBron in 65,000 minutes, in 20 years and seemingly have the most gas left in the tank in a game 6. But Steph did score 50 in a game 7. That record lasted for 14 days. But neither here nor there. They've got no place to go. The Sixers are just kind of stuck. Do you do Dame and Tobias Harris plus a couple picks? Maxey and Tobias Harris plus a couple picks for Dame? Maybe. And then the Suns traded away all their depth to get Durant. They got a 4-man team. And one of the men, DeAndre Ayton, just objectively doesn't seem to like playing basketball. And the other man, Chris Paul, is shorter than me and breaks down. So I think they're in really rough shape.
I was wondering about this on return on investment of players in the NBA. And Chris Paul would probably be at the top, that you've spent close to $400 million. And what do you get with Chris Paul? First ballot Hall of Famer, but there hasn't been postseason success. Kevin Durant gave you, a title in Boston. He was over $300 million. Who are some of the other players that are on that, LeBron is up there. Durant's on that list. Who else, Seton?
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook, yeah. So return on investment, where would Chris Paul be on the negative part of that?
I guess here's let me turn it on its head. What he instantly does and has done at every stop of his career is either give a franchise credibility or take a franchise to the next level. Just hasn't been able to take them over the top. Mm-hmm. The Hornets are nothing in New Orleans. He gets there, you know what I mean, in I think game 7 of round 2 in short order. He goes to the Clippers. They go from laughing stock to perennial playoff team. He goes to the Thunder. Everyone says they're tanking. He gets them to the playoffs the year of the bubble. He then goes to Phoenix. They're right there. You know what I mean? They missed the playoffs the bubble year despite going undefeated. They get to the finals. So I do think he has I skipped the Rockets, who were, a borderline contender. His first year there, they win 65 games. They get to game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. So I do think he has improved every team he's gotten to. He just hasn't taken them over the top. But in his defense, 2 little guys in NBA history. In the history of the league, 2 small players have been the best player on champions. The eternally underrated Isaiah Thomas and Steph Curry, who might at this point be a touch overrated. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying
How can you say he's overrated?
Well, I don't know. I had to listen that he might be better than Magic. I had to listen that he's no doubt, top 10.
Who are you listening to? And maybe you need to get a better group of friends.
There's a lot of talk, Dan. It's a lot of talk on television and the interwebs, the radio. I heard
everybody's got a hot take. That's all they're trying to do.
I heard people say if Steph wins this series, he might, have replaced LeBron on Mount Rushmore. No, I heard it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I heard it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But Steph, by the way, has now played LeBron in the playoffs in 5 series, 6 if we include the play-in game, and he is 0 for 5 on outplaying him. 0 for 5. Not one series has he outplayed LeBron James in a series where they've been on the court together. That's just a fact.
I have talked about this the last couple of weeks where, but it was, they because it's LeBron, they diminish what he did in the bubble. It's like, oh, yeah, but he did it in the bubble. And I'm like, wait, everybody had a level playing court there. And also, they lost the home court advantage there.
They were the 1 seed.
Yes.
The bubble thing where people were like, oh, unfair. Yes, if an 8 seed would have risen up, maybe they had a home court advantage robbed from them. And I don't know if you've been watching LeBron at Old Staples, what we now call the Crypt, undefeated, like LeVar Ball, never lost in the postseason this year. That's 7-0 against a 2 seed and against a defending champion. And now everyone's like, oh, it's the bubble, it's a fluke. And now we have the exact same Final Four. And these frauds, they're like, oh, yeah, but the teams are different. No, they're not. It's LeBron and AD. It's Bam and Jimmy. It's Jalen and Tatum. It's Jokic, Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. Yeah, the role players changed. Of course they've changed. But it's the same top couple guys on every team. And LeBron's about to do it again. We got to have this. By the way, Lakers over Heat. It's about to happen again.
That's your pick for the finals.
Yeah. I had Lakers over Sixers going into the playoffs. Got the Lakers at 50-1 when LeBron got hurt. 50-1, Dan. Gave that out on a very popular podcast that you never promote on this show, What's Right with Nick Wright, that I do with my family and friends.
Todd,
don't blame Todd.
Yes, I do, because he writes these things down so I can get it correctly.
But a year ago, I told you.
Do you tell Todd, hey, would you promote this?
No, because you and I have a personal relationship that supersedes Todd with respect to Todd. You should know that this is an important thing I'm trying to build in the digital media space. What's Right with Nick Wright with my son and my daughter. It's a family business. Not everyone has an empire they can pass down, Dan. I'm trying to build it up. As I was saying, I gave out that 50-1 on What's Right with Nick Wright, but that's not the point. Point is,
what did you get me for my birthday?
Oh, I have it. Can you hold on? Hold on. I have it right here. Wait, Dan.
Nick Wright, first things first. And he's got some kind of podcast here.
Some kind of podcast. That is so rude. It's so rude.
Some kind of family podcast.
It's not a family podcast. It got 110,000 YouTube subscribers, Dan. You could learn something from me in the digital space, my friend. It's not terrestrial radio, but it's something going. It's upstairs.
Don't hate. Don't be jealous. Don't hate. Just embrace. Jealous. Don't hate. Embrace.
I'm obviously jealous. That's fine. All right. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't show you, but can I just tell you what it is?
Yeah.
What I got you?
Nothing.
It's a beautiful Breitling. It's unbelievable.
Is it fake? Is it your fake one?
No, it's the real one you gave me. It's just in.
Oh, you're regifting?
Well, I'd hope you decline. I really like it. I wear it every day on television. But if you demand a gift, you know, I mean,
you know what? I'll take it back.
No,
smart ass.
No.
I'll take it back.
You know what, Dan? That one has too much emotional value to me. I'm going to send you a different one.
It just seems like you're mad today. You're angry.
I'm not angry. You always think I'm angry. I'm fired up.
Guys, how would you describe, Nick Wright's personality, demeanor today, Paulie?
Manic. It looks like he's in a bathrobe or something like that. I don't know.
You're bathrobe?
You look like the Big Lebowski or something.
What are you talking about? I'm wearing a white T-shirt, 2 beautiful diamond chains.
It's more like a mechanic's jacket.
It's a St. Nicholas Park, New York State, Harlem jacket.
Seton,
that's what it is.
How would you describe Nick's demeanor today?
I think manic is exactly the word.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. There's a little mad scientist or something going on here today. I don't know
High energy.
why.
Okay. You want to know what's going on here?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'll tell you what's going on here.
Right.
We weren't on TV Friday because of NASCAR.
Yeah.
This is my first
Oh, you're backed up with takes.
To do media since LeBron ended the Warriors' run and then they left Steph disconsolate on the sideline. And I'm excited. I have a lot to discuss here. And you Fritzy texts me, was like, hey, can you come on tomorrow? And I flew overnight and I was like, it's probably in my best interest to save this gold for the television show 3 p.m. on FS1. But because it's your birthday and because I missed dinner with you this weekend because I was out of town, I said, you know what? I'll give this to Dan. And then you start off with a poll question about the Knicks instead of just teeing me up with a Steph LeBron thing. I had 14 minutes ready for it. LeBron could have retired after the Heat. And been one of the 10 greatest players ever. That's when Steph's whole run started. So Steph had a whole career that's top 10 worthy, but after LeBron already had a career that's top 10 worthy, and now we sit here today and LeBron just outplayed him. LeBron's better.
But I'm on your team with LeBron.
Well, then be a good teammate.
I am. Okay. What would you do if you're the commissioner with John Morant?
Oh. All right. I'd call Danny Ainge. I'd be like, listen, I need a favor. You have all these picks.
You're going to send him to Utah?
You have to, yeah. And then I'd tell Ja, I'd be like, listen, it's either a 20 game suspension and you go play for Salt Lake,
or a
year.
Okay.
Like you pick, buddy.
How about a round of applause for Nick here?
Yeah. But that's a good take. It'd be like, it'd save him from himself. You got to go live in Salt Lake City. But the Grizzlies win more without you than with you. The Jazz have all these picks. They're not going to get Wemby. Let's make it happen. Assuming that's what David Stern would do. Tell you right now, David Stern would be like, guess what, young man? That's why we have a franchise in Salt Lake City. You've always wondered, why is there a franchise there? For these exact reasons. Now, in all seriousness, here's the thing. Yes, there is part of me that understands there is wild hypocrisy about who we get upset seeing with guns and who we don't. Like, I'm pretty sure, there's about 28 states in the country that what Ja did in that car breaks 0 laws. But that misses the point entirely, in my opinion, if you focus on that. It would not be against the law if Ja repeatedly, and I apologize for the example, but posted personal sex tapes to Instagram. Breaking no law. I think the NBA would say, yeah, don't love it, can't have it. And here's the other reason that I think Ja should be in massive trouble. They gave him a total pass, not on the shotgun Willie's gun thing, but on the thing with the Pacers team bus. Remember? They were like, we couldn't prove if the laser pointer was attached to a gun. Like somebody has a laser pointer, like it's 1998 and you're trying to blind a pilot in the air like idiot kids used to. Nobody carries those around anymore. I now feel very confident. Like, well, you've had 5 other incidents involving firearms. That means either Ja himself or Ja was in a car with someone who was pointing a pistol at other NBA players. Like, I now feel confident that's what happened. So I think he's got to be in a ton of trouble. And it is shocking to me that he could see he missed out on $39 million because of the first thing. Because he would have been all NBA. That contract is baked in $39 million. And then he does it again. And his buddy who he's with, who is the buddy who has been banned from the Grizzlies arena, so that buddy has made some bad choices, is the one that has the common sense to, as soon as he sees the gun, put the phone down. Like, oh, crap, what are we doing? So I don't know, man. It's a bad situation. It's a bad situation.
And I wonder how different it would be for David Stern as opposed to Adam Silver. Completely different demeanor with those two. And I want this makes Adam Silver look bad because of what happened the last time. He got lied to. Now what do you do? Now suspending for 20 games. Does that matter?
I think it'd be harsher than that. It is a shame because NBA players have gone from jailblazers, malice at the palace, some of the unfair stuff that was thrown at Iverson, to, I think, the models for American pro athletes. They are, really, remember 25 years ago, the horrible Sports Illustrated cover, Where's Daddy? And it was a little black boy, and it was talking about the absentee fathers in the NBA. Now it's almost a problem that so many players bring their kids to press conferences. Like, it's almost a workplace but it's super involved parents. Some of the most charitable group of rich guys in the world are NBA guys, businessmen involved in the tech space, startups, all of it. And now I feel like this is much like we've talked about how Tiger or LeBron have raised the economics for everyone, right? This is not the same degree, but there's a degree of things like this lower the economics for everybody. Nobody wins from this, and I don't get it. Now, I'm not a gun guy, I admittedly, but I just don't get it at all.
It's great to talk to you.
You know what? And I got to tell you, that's my birthday present to you right there. I start you with a great jazz Danny Ainge Salt Lake City joke, and I end with the most cogent 4 minutes on the Ja Morant situation you're going to find anywhere in media. That's better than a Breitling. That right there is probably worth $15,000 in radio sales. Right there. Flip it. Send it to the Marconi.
You had 4 good minutes out of 15.
Oh, give me a break.
That's like a James Harden. No.
Oh, I'm 4 for 15.
Yeah.
I was more like a LeBron, 10 for 14, super efficient, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, while outplaying the one everyone says is going to take, the other Mount Rushmore.
Not everybody said it. We stopped.
Enough people said it.
Oh,
Some people were saying.
Take a deep breath. Just relax a little bit. Save some juice for later on today on that popular show, First Things First.
I have a bunch of Fridays off during the summer. I hope to be invited in studio to spend one with you.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. If you can do it, but
I'll just do
or
it.
Dinner,
Yeah. I know. Listen, we're way past your break.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
We'll do both. I'll talk to you later.